only to find out that she was upset because someone else was my chief bridesmaid. Hi guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, please do well to click the subscribe button, and if you are a returning subscriber, you're welcome. Thank you for always checking in on us. So in today's episode, I'm going to be showing you guys how I went to the market to go get ingredients for the soup I was preparing. Like, obviously I prepared it and that soup is called oha soup. I believe we're all familiar with it. It is it's a native soup, and a lot of people knows how to prepare it, and a lot of people know how to eat it. Yeah, so it's made from like cocoyam ede, right? So it's either you use that cocoyam to cook oha soup, or you use it to cook bitter leaf soup. So in today's episode, I am preparing oha soup. So guys, back to our story. If you've been following this story, then let's continue. So I stopped at where my mentor made sure to, book a call for the both of us. So he called me separately at first, then he also called her. When one of our mutual friends reached out to him and told him that this is what is going on between these two people. So he was like, why? And he reached out to me and he asked what's the problem. I told him all I knew. I explained everything I knew to him, and he was like, okay, that he was going to call her too and find out what's going on. So he called her. Yeah, and I think he told her that, yeah, we're going to have a call. So the day for the call came, and it was like more like a conference call, me, him and her in that call. So he asked me, I think he asked me first, or he asked her first, like, what is the problem? I think he asked me first what the problem was, and I explained to him everything that I knew about the whole situation, what happened, why I think this is causing the problem. I just said everything to him, and that's everything that I said to him is practically what I said in the last video. So he said okay. Then he asked her, what is the problem? Why are you not picking your friend's call? Why are you not talking to her, especially in this period of her life and all? And she what she said, I was surprised, like, okay, so this has been the issue, but then it is not enough. Okay, before we even dive into that, let me see if I can say what she said, although it's definitely not going to be exactly how she put it, because I'm not a robot, so I can't remember how she said it, like word for word, right? So I'm going to just summarize it. So she was like, I told her that I was planning an event, like I was getting married, and the first date that was picked didn't pull through, and I told her about it, and I told her I was going to reach out to her when another date is being set, and that is true. I did that. So that her problem or her annoyance was I didn't reach out to her after the new date was fixed. Remember in the last video I said I wasn't so sure if I actually did reach out to her or not, but I was certain I reached out to my other friends, and I'm thinking the reason why I didn't do that was because we were not in constant communication anymore. So it skipped my mind. If not, it is not in any way supposed to skip my mind for someone that I am planning to be my chief bridesmaid. Or maybe because I was already angry at her, like I was waiting for when she would call me and be like, oh, what's going on now? What's the new date? What's up? But there was no there was no checkup on it. There was no check-in on the whole matter. So I guess that was just the whole thing. That was what happened. So that was it though. That was her annoyance. Then also that she came in, she saw that I've created a group, and I made someone else in charge of the whole thing, like trying to, the person is the one that gets to reach out to me to find out what's going on, the material and everything. Remember, you understand now, like that person obviously is now the chief bridesmaid. So that was her annoyance. That was what she said was the problem. And I became cold immediately, like instantly I became cold. I was like, okay, I think IJ, you messed up. But I can't remember if truly I did not reach out to her again Like I was in so much stress, like a lot, sincerely a lot. And I'm grateful to God that it has all passed. Like everything has come and gone. And I'm so grateful to God. If you're planning a wedding by yourself, I believe you understand the stress I'm talking about. So that was practically it. So my mentor was like, okay, he was like the person in between the both of us now. So he was just saying, trying to, calm us down, saying, okay, it's not like this person is at fault, it's not like this person is at fault. He wouldn't want to be pointing fingers, but he would want everything to be sorted out, right? That we should all look past it and try to, be the better versions of ourselves. And obviously we're not kids, so you know just trying to make sure that we get past this whole shenanigans. So that was it. And he was like I should apologize to her, and she also should apologize to me. And we did that after the whole back and forth, like who used to apologize first. I was like, nah, you apologize to me, and ladies. So that was it. And he instructed that we get to communicate after this call. Like he was going to leave us. Yeah, he later left us in that call, like on that call. And um it was now the both of us now. So she was now telling me more, telling me what she didn't like. And I was like, the problem is I told her, I said, how then were you expecting me to apologize, since that is what I did to you, right? No problem. But how then were you expecting me to apologize to you when you were not picking my calls, you were not responding to my messages? I get that you were angry, but then you not responding to my messages, you not picking my calls, because I even tried calling you, right? I tried calling you when I felt like, this is too much. This person is supposed to have reached out to me by now. And I now tried to call her. And that was when I realized that this lady wasn't picking my calls anymore, nor responding to my messages. So I was now like, you didn't pick my calls. You didn't respond to my messages. Our friends even tried to reach out to you and you didn't respond to their calls too. So how was I even going to resolve it? And I told her the particular friend that called our mentor and told him about it, because it was funny. I mean, we were acting like kids. So we just, what can we do now? We just, so I'm sorry. And sincerely, I thought everything was over. I told our other friends about it and all. We were cool. We were really cool. I had to put her up to date because my mentor also said something like that. Like, IJ, make sure you put her up to date. I know that you cannot change the chief bridesmaid duty anymore, but just, Hina told her also to try to check in and, reach out to know what and what is still remaining, what she can help out on, and everything. And we did that. I did that. I put her up to date. Like I told her everything that she needs to know, and that was it. We're all on the same level, the same space. Like we're all okay. And that was it. So after he communicated and I put her up to date about the whole thing, then she I think she made payments for, if she I think she made payment before the whole call, or she made payment after the call. I can't remember, but I know she made payments for the material. So after that, it was now we're now talking about when she's going to come. So she told me that she wasn't sure of the date. Remember, it was during December period, right, for the trad. So she wasn't so sure of the dates, like when she was going to come, but she was going to come, yeah. And and because of work, so, and this was going to be after Christmas, right? It was on the 30th of December. The trad was on the 30th of December. So she was like, okay, she's probably going to come, I think once they are all closed from work. Now you know how works, offices, workplaces can be during the Christmas period, everybody trying to round off and balance up their sheets and all. So That was it. So she wasn't so sure of the date yet, but she was definitely going to come. So it's like, okay, that's cool, that's cool. She asked of me when I'm going to, travel to the village and all, and she was also concerned about where she was going to stay. I told her that, yeah, definitely you're going to stay with me. Like, you can't go to a hotel. You're going to stay where I'm going to stay, like in the house, obviously. So she's like, okay, yeah, that she doesn't want to stay away from me. She's gonna be with me. I was like, who else do you want to stay with? You get me thinking or feeling that, hey, my friend is back. We're cool. We're on the same track again. That was it. After that was sorted, she just keeping tabs, she started checking in slowly, slowly, slowly till okay, the clearance there was she said she was going to come for the trad, but she's not setting off the white wedding because of the date. And I can understand, because our date was a lot of offices might have resumed as at then. That was on January 7th, on the 7th of January. So I believe that a lot of offices definitely must have resumed, because that's like the second week of January. So I wasn't having an issue with that. Okay, I wasn't having an issue with that. As long as you're going to be present with me and for me on during the trad, so it was fine. So that was the agreement now. So I think a few weeks later or thereabouts, she reached out again that she's so sorry. She's really sorry that she can't attend the trad anymore. I was heartbroken. I mean, why not? I was sad. Like, okay, what's going on? Why are you not going to attend the trad anymore? And she said because of work. Her boss, I can't start explaining how she explained it all to me, but she said she was not going to make it anymore. But she was just going to support me. Most times there's some people's presence you need other than the support. So I expressed my sadness. I was pained. I told her. She was just apologizing, saying she's sorry and all. I was sad. Sincerely, I'm not going to lie. I was really sad. But then, what can I do now? Am I going to force someone now? So I moved on. My husband, he heard a lot. He hear and where because he has been the one I've been pouring it out all on. I've been telling him, oh, she's not coming again, and he'd be like, just calm down. Don't take it to the heart. Calm down. He was trying to calm me down and all, but it was really annoying. Sincerely, it was. But like I said, I can't force her, right? So at the end of the day, she didn't attend the trad. So that was it. That was how my one-time best friend didn't attend my wedding. So she after the trad, yeah, after the trad, obviously I've traveled to the east, and after the trad I moved to my husband's house. Then I was in my husband's house when, okay, yeah, I don't know if I should start moving, like bringing in another story into this about my chief bridesmaid, but I think that would be another story entirely. She deserves another story. My chief bridesmaid deserves another story, like that lady. Okay, so after the white wedding, right? Like on the day of the white wedding, I got her message. She sent me a message on WhatsApp, congratulating me and all. Then she also said she was going to call me, like video call me later on. She said she was going to video call me later on. So I said, no problem. That's fine. Okay. Then, okay, like I said, she sent in her support. So I think it was before the white wedding or after the white wedding. I think one of those period. So she sent in her support, and I was grateful to her. I told her thank you. And so that video call, and she said she was going to call me on a video call. Do you know, since the January 7th that I did the white wedding, till I traveled back to my husband's place here in Delta State, she didn't call me. She didn't send me a message. Nada, nothing. God knows I had been waiting for that video call, that supposed video call, she didn't reach out. Guess what? I was the one that called her. After I have waited and waited and waited, I called her myself. And the day I called her, she was in class, like she's doing you know, it doesn't mean after your first degree you won't further your education, right? So she was in class. So she told me that she was in class and she was gonna call me back. But that day passed, she didn't call. I think it was the next day she called, and I told her, I said, is this like, I've been waiting for that video call. Oh. Like, you said you were going to call me on the video call, right? You didn't call me. What's going on? Oh, she's sorry. She's sorry. It wasn't intentional. She just felt like I needed the space, the rest, and all. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, from you? Our other friends have been calling, have been checking in. Like, they didn't even they didn't even give me that space that you are giving me. Do you understand? And I loved it. I never for once complained. It was not like it was a stress to me, like they were stressing me. I enjoyed that companion. I enjoyed that that's what's the word now? Ah, forgotten. I enjoyed whatever it is they were I enjoyed whatever it is they were sharing with me. Like that togetherness. Ah, that's not the word, but let's use that one. Togetherness. I enjoyed it. But my supposed best friend did not call me because she felt I needed space. I needed the rest, the whole honeymoon period, blah blah blah. To me, I felt that was bullshit. I don't know if I was supposed to say that because of I was posting this. But anyways, I told her, I remember telling her, yeah, that you think I listed our friends' name, like the ones that called me. Did they not know that I was going to the whole honeymoon thing and all of that? But they kept on calling. One safe, let me even call that lady. Edith Young did not allow me rest. Or is it Anna? The video calls. So I don't understand. So I told her as it is, or be as it was, that these girls have been calling me, but you're not calling me because you felt I needed space. Okay. So we just, I think we just did the hi, hello, hello, and that was it. I ended the call. And I think that was the last, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the last time I heard from her till date. If I am not mistaken, but if there was another time, then it was the last time I heard from her till date. As of May 2026, I haven't spoken to her. She hasn't called me, and I realized that she blocked my number because I can't view her profile picture on WhatsApp, and our mutual friend can actually view her profile picture on WhatsApp. So that automatically means this person has blocked you, right? Before, people would think I'm maybe making up things, but it is what it is. So, and I've not tried calling her. I don't want to, I don't know. Before it turn to another thing, I've not tried calling her. So that was it, my dear friends, my dear subscribers. That was it. That was how I stopped communicating with my one-time best friend. I don't know. Was I wrong in any way? You can all drop in the comment section. Just say it as it is. Whatever. I don't know what happened. I can't, like I said earlier, the very first video where I started narrating the story, I cannot pinpoint and say this is the reason why me and this lady, we don't talk anymore. Like, there's no valid reason for me. To me, there's no valid reason at all. But maybe she has a valid reason. I can't tell. I'm not in her head, and she hasn't said anything to me. So yeah, our mentor also called. I was like, oh, hope you guys are. And I'm like, Papa, we don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore. And it's like, what's going on? I said, I don't know. But it's okay. It's okay. It's very okay. I am comfortable with it. My happiness is I have made my peace with her. And that was during that call that our mentor made us he made us to communicate with each other. I am very okay with it because I have made my peace, and that is why I can freely tell this story, because I know I am not lying. Maybe someday she's gonna view this. I don't know. But it is the truth and nothing but the truth. So I've made my peace. I know I have there's no grudge anymore. The grudge was you not picking my call and responding to my messages. But we've sorted that out. But if there's any other thing I did to her that I am not aware of, that she probably did not say when we had that call, then I believe it's on her. Because we had the opportunity to pour it all out, and I did mine, and I believe you did yours too. But if there's something else that maybe this lady did and you probably did not like, then whose fault is it, please, my dear brethren? So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining me in my storytelling. That will be all for now, until the next one, where I'll tell you how I had to how I managed to get or choose my chief bridesmaid, and thankfully that was the best decision I have ever made. One of the best decisions I've ever made, please, because I did young. Okay, thank you all for watching, guys. I will be seeing you in the next one, and I believe you enjoyed the oha soup preparation. Remember, everybody have their own preparation, like everybody have the way they prepare their soup. Okay, I'm sorry I couldn't talk about it at all, but I believe the video is detailed already. Alright, so thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye. Bye bye.